Hi everyone, welcome to the first pre-class video for the first Science One Biology class. And our topic for this class is going to be similarity, a word you probably know, and homology, a word you might not know. Now I want to start just by briefly explaining the function of these pre-class videos. There will be a short video, probably no more than 5 minutes, for each of our classes, and they'll become available the day before the class, and that's when I want you to watch them. The function of the videos is just to get you started thinking about the topics that we're going to be digging into in the next class. We'll raise big important questions, big concepts, provide some simplistic answers, and then in class we'll build on this. You don't need to do any reading, you don't need to figure out what the words mean. You can just watch it once and then let it sort of percolate around in your brain. So, we're used to seeing similarity in organisms. We're so used to it. Most of the time, we don't even notice that, oh, these things are similar. Of course they're similar. But I want us to think about why this similarity exists in biology. And here's some possible, sometimes, causes. The first is chance. Sometimes organisms are similar in particular features just because of chance. Like the reasons that this mandrel's nose is blue probably have nothing to do with the reasons that this insect's face is blue. Similarity can also arise out of natural selection for a shared function. These are three quite distantly related vertebrate animals, sharks, ichthyosaurs, and cetaceans, but they all have very similar shapes because they've been selected to swim in a particular way. The concept we're focusing on is homology, and it's similarity that arises because of shared ancestry. This green image shows a classic example of the forearm bones of vertebrates. Even though whales, birds, dogs, and humans use their forearms for very different things, all of those forelimbs have very similar bone structures underlying it. 5 digits, little bones, a pair of long bones in the forearm, and a short bone in the upper arm. Now, okay, so homology is similarity due to shared ancestry. Now, how do biologists decide if similarities are really due to shared ancestry rather than to chance or to selection for a shared function? Well, we'll talk about this quite a bit in class, but I'm not going to talk about it now. I just want to point out that homology underpins everything in biology. Biologists use homology to infer evolutionary relationships and to construct phylogenetic trees that show evolutionary relationships. Here's a simple one, sort of a schematic one, for the great apes. It shows us that bonobos and chimps are more closely related to each other than they are to other great apes, that humans are more closely related to bonobos and chimps than to gorillas or orangutans. Here's a bigger scale tree. This is what we can call the big tree of all living organisms. And it shows that all organisms share ancestors all the way back to the origin of life, indicated by the question mark. And we'll be talking a lot about the origin of life over the next few classes. Now, once biologists have inferred evolutionary relationships, always as hypotheses, because of course we weren't there, but they're very solidly supported hypotheses, we can then use these relationships to predict that organisms will share homologous features. And what this means in practice is that we know an enormous amount about all the vertebrates on Earth, even though we've never examined most of them. And we know because we know that their internal structures, their functions, their cells are going to have a great deal of homology. So that's all I want to talk about what's coming up in the next lecture, except to let you know that as we're going to have a relatively short class, and then we're going to the UBC Botanical Garden. And in preparation for that, I want you to know you should be prepared to walk about a mile, kilometer and a half each way. That you need to bring your student ID card so you can get in for free. Your ID card gets you in free to a whole lot of things on campus. And if you'd like to stay for a picnic, you should bring your lunch. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.